Opening question. Let us begin with a simple experiment. Have you ever tried very hard not to think about something? Most people assume that if they tell the mind to stop, it will stop. But usually, that is not what happens. Now imagine, I say, for the next 10 seconds, do not think about a pink elephant. What happens? Almost immediately, the image of a pink elephant appears in the mind. This is completely normal. It does not mean you are doing something wrong. It means your mind is working exactly the way minds work. This opening example helps us understand an important idea for this module. We often believe that mindfulness or meditation means forcing the mind to become blank or silent, but that is not the goal. The goal is not to fight with thoughts. The goal is to understand them better. So as we move into the next slide, keep this in mind. If thoughts keep appearing, that is not failure. That is simply the nature of the mind. Explain. Now let us build on that example. The brain was designed to think. That is one of its main jobs. It predicts what might happen next. It remembers what happened before. It solves problems. It imagines possibilities. It makes plans. And very importantly, it tries to protect you from danger. In other words, your brain is active for a reason. It is not broken because it produces thoughts all the time. It is doing what it was built to do. This is why meditation does not mean stopping thought completely. If you expect the mind to never think, you will probably feel frustrated. A more accurate and helpful way to understand meditation is this. Meditation changes your relationship with thinking. That means instead of getting pulled into every thought, believing every thought, or reacting to every thought, you begin to notice thoughts more clearly. You learn that a thought can simply be a thought. It can come, stay for a moment, and pass. This idea is very important because in the next slide, we will look at why the brain often pays extra attention to problems, worries, and mistakes. Science Spotlight. Here is an important scientific point. Your brain evolved to notice problems. Long ago, this helped human beings survive. If early humans ignored danger, they were less likely to stay safe. So the brain became very good at scanning for threats and remembering difficult experiences. That is why your mind often holds on to mistakes, embarrassing moments, worries, or possible dangers. You may notice that one awkward moment at school can stay in your mind much longer than several normal or positive moments. This is not because you are weak or overly dramatic. It is because the brain gives extra attention to what might be important for survival. The problem is that in modern life, this same system can create stress even when there is no real danger in front of you. The brain may replay a conversation, imagine a bad outcome, or focus on what could go wrong. It is trying to protect you, but sometimes it overdoes that job. This is why mindfulness matters. Mindfulness helps you notice when the mind is creating stress through constant worry, replaying the past, or anticipating the future. It does not erase the brain's protective system, but it helps you respond more wisely. To understand this more personally, the next slide invites you to observe your own thoughts directly. Activity. Now it is time to pause and reflect on your own experience. Pause the video and write down the last 5 thoughts you remember having. Do not try to choose perfect thoughts. Just write whatever comes to mind honestly. After you write them down, take a moment to notice a pattern. Were those thoughts mostly about the past? For example, something you said, something that happened earlier, or a mistake you keep replaying? Were they about the future, such as worrying, planning, or imagining what might happen next? Or were they about the present moment, what is happening right now? This activity helps you see something clearly. Much of the time, the mind is not resting in the present. It is traveling backward into memory or forward into prediction. That does not mean the mind is bad. It simply means that mental time travel is normal. But when we do not notice it, we can become lost in it. We may start treating every thought as if it is urgent, true, or important. This leads us directly to the key takeaway of the module. If the mind naturally travels away from now, mindfulness gives us a gentle way to return. Key takeaway. Here is the main idea to remember. The mind naturally travels through time. It goes into the past to remember, review, or regret. It goes into the future to plan, predict, or worry. This is what minds do. Mindfulness gently brings the mind back to now. Notice the word gently. Mindfulness is not about forcing the mind or punishing yourself for getting distracted. It is about noticing where the mind has gone and calmly returning attention to the present moment. Each time you notice that you are lost in thought and bring yourself back, you are practicing mindfulness. That moment of noticing is not a mistake. It is the practice. So from this module, remember this simple truth. Thoughts will come and go, but you do not have to follow every one of them. You can notice them, understand them, and return to the present. That is the beginning of real mental freedom.